Soccer and trivia are soccer, and trivia is River Plate.
The meeting just finished just now. It ended at 18:45. They wrapped up.
Everyone?
Yes, and Nico already spoke with someone very important. Of course, we won't know the decision today. But today they saw each other face to face. Of going all out, as I say.
I say everyone because both teams' representatives were there.
By knockout.
Leo, the match between Independiente and U de Chile is over. Chile advances to the quarterfinals.
We now have more details about the fines.
Just that title. I'm waiting, the informational breakdown.
I mean, Independiente was eliminated. They were knocked out of the cup.
That's the information I have, and that they are being told by the clubs at this moment.
Terrible move, huh? They win the match simply by staying on the field. Confederación Sudamericana de Fútbol was telling fans to leave the field. See how they won just by staying. I'm not leaving now. Even if they tell me to go tomorrow, I won't. Terrible. Look, I have to be honest with myself. I was never in favor of the points deduction. I always think they can't pay hundreds of thousands, millions. Sometimes fans for 50, 60, or even 100. I'm talking about Independiente, Universidad de Chile, or any team. But I think in this case, there's an aggravating factor because one of the clubs involved in the incidents gets away with it and the other doesn't. We'll discuss it later. Welcome, Fernando Garcia.
Hugs to all, Leo. Today, Matias Martinez will elaborate on the topic.
Nice to see you, Mari. Well, what details are there beyond the most important and most painful thing for Argentine soccer, which is Independiente's exclusion? Independiente's Copa Sudamericana disqualification?
Yes, Leo. Independiente has been notified and considers the match finished as is. Universidad de Chile advances to the quarterfinals after a 1-1 draw. I still don't know the full extent of the other sanctions Independiente will face. There's an emergency meeting right now at Independiente to address this issue. Obviously, there's anger, there's frustration. This result wasn't expected, this ruling wasn't expected, but it's what Independiente has to deal with. We'll see what the scope is.
Confederación Sudamericana de Fútbol says that if you get a good first leg result, you must give your all in the second leg. That's their message. If you do well in the first leg, go all out. That moves you to the next round, right?
Leo, sorry.
I'm getting involved with what we've accomplished so far. Both clubs will play 7 home games and 7 away games without spectators. I repeat, 7 home games for Independiente behind closed doors and 7 away games. Independiente with no fans, same. The ruling for U de Chile is a $150,000 fine for each of the teams. We relay news from Radio La Red. Independiente out of Copa Sudamericana.
Well, a decision that clearly harms Independiente in every way, sports-wise, economically, but it doesn't go any further. That ends in this Copa Sudamericana. It won't continue. I mean, Mati, Martinez, or German, whoever has the info. No, well, for the next ones, because that would be the only thing, right? That's missing!
Well, I don't have that, Leo. That's why I was talking about the scope. Well, German is providing more information there. What I had until now was the confirmation from Deportivo that Independiente was already informed at 1942.
They announce it now because they're embarrassed, right? Are they only saying it as the match starts because they're embarrassed? Because they're also responsible, the Conmebol officials, and luckily we didn't have any deaths because they delayed it for over an hour. The decision that everyone on the field saw needed to be made, which was to suspend the match. So Universidad de Chile brought 100 violent fans to Argentina who can't enter stadiums in their own country. They're not allowed into stadiums in their own country. If those fans came to Argentina to cause trouble, they handed Universidad de Chile the qualification through their violence. Congratulations, Conmebol. Right. Regrettable move, Mati. We'll discuss it more soon.
And the people from the U as well, saying they wanted the points and weren't focused on the people.
The U was more about releasing a statement and not so much about showing their face and voice. But yes, there were doubts in their statements.
Well, today is Tuesday. By Friday, I think this should already be resolved. Yes or no, we play or not, both suspended or eliminated.
Gustavo, be careful with the decision. It could leave a strong legacy. Because if one qualifies, the feeling of injustice won't just stay with the other. Because if the other one qualifies, the feeling of injustice will remain. Meanwhile, there were some extremely sensitive and serious incidents. This may leave a complex legacy for the future.
The main message here is that it's difficult for Conmebol regardless of who is involved.
It would be tough for there to be a winner. After all of this,
let Conmebol decide that.
Of course, I think that's the best, and I think we're done here. After a while, many of us think that the best thing is for it to be decided on the field.
Exactly.
And they weren't looking at the moon, they were asking people to please stop, that they don't have anything else. I mean, the violence started in the U de Chile stands. The same Confederación Sudamericana de Fútbol, I think, told U at the Independiente Stadium, please ask the Chilean fans to leave the field. They didn't leave, they stayed, and by staying, they won the points. An unbelievable thing. It's true that what happened later with Independiente and those 49-50 Rojo fans who took over the stands was the worst part of the night. Now, this isn't a competition of violent people about who's more or less violent. Here there was a mistake by Confederación Sudamericana de Fútbol, which also waited too long to suspend the match, to stop it, to halt it, when it was clear that the match shouldn't go on. Because we spent a long time looking up, waiting for the violence to stop, and the violence didn't stop, there was a group that came to destroy everything that was painted red and to put an end to the match. That's why I say that the decision by Conmebol is really tough. Because here, you don't have to find a team. Here, there were problems from both teams. First, the one who starts the mess, which is the visiting team, and the one who, tired of the mess, says, yeah, well, now it's my turn. And it was the worst. So I really don't know what they're going to decide, but even that is dangerous, what they're going to decide. Be careful. May God enlighten you.